serving the Republic of the Philippines for more than 75 years. Ito po ang Presidential Broadcast Service.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day, this is Dateline Malacañang. Here are today's Palace top stories. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. and Department of Education or DepEd Secretary and Vice President Sara Duterte reassured on Monday that the national government is already dealing with the repairs of damaged schools hit by Typhoon Egay in July. Admitting that not all school repairs will make it in time for the August 29 class opening, President Marcos said the government's school building program will continue.
Hindi pa lahat. Kasi nung tumama yung bagyo, sabi namin anong magagawa natin sa isang buwan. So far, basta kung ano yung kaya natin gawin together pa with, kasama pa yung ating mga LGU, ay ginagawa lahat para maayos natin yung mga nasira.
Vice President Duterte assured that if the repairs will not be finished by school opening, blended learning classes will be automatically carried out.
Yung mga tinamaan po ng Bagyong Egay, sila po yung priority natin sa budget natin for repairs this year. Pero kung hindi po umabot yung repairs nila by opening ng August 29, ay immediately po i-implement ng ating mga paaralan yung blended learning program natin. Dahil wala na pong learning disruption ang direction ng Department of Education, lagi pong blended learning or in-person classes. So, tutuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral kahit merong problema sa classroom.
The DepEd reported last month that Typhoon Egay and the southwest monsoon damaged 169 public schools in the National Capital Region, Cordillera Administrative Region, Ilocos Region, Cagayan Valley, Central Luzon, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Bicol Region, and Eastern Visayas. The agency estimates that the cost of reconstruction and rehabilitation would reach 810 million pesos. Some 68 schools in the regions of Cagayan Valley, Central Luzon, Western Visayas, and Cordillera were also used as evacuation centers. In a previous statement, VP Duterte said DepEd has allocated 15.6 billion pesos for new construction of more resilient schools and classrooms. On the other hand, President Marcos said the national government is currently studying when is the best time to start classes, considering the extreme weather conditions. President Marcos also turned over 1 million pesos worth of financial assistance with paints and other cleaning materials to support the Brigada Eskwela volunteer maintenance works of Victorino Mapa High School.
Nakita na naman natin kung gaano kahalaga sa lalong-lalo na dito para sa Pilipinas, kung gaano kahalaga na lahat, pati yung mga magulang, yung mga teacher, kung sino man mga volunteer, pagdating sa ating mga anak, sa mga bata, ay talagang buong loob natin na tumulong para gumanda naman ang kanilang experience dito sa pag-eskwela.
Dateline Malacañang.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday said the Department of Education's or DepEd's launching of the Matatag curriculum will improve the country's school curriculum and determine what it suits the needs of Filipino learners. In an interview after attending a 2023 Brigada Eskwela event in Manila, the President described the curriculum as very significant, saying the program aims to fine-tune the country's education system.
It's very significant because here we are trying, ang sinusubukan natin gawin ay ayusin ang curriculum para maging mas bagay sa pangangailangan ng mga batang Pilipino. Kasi nakasama na rin dahil mga tatlo includes all our efforts na para pagandahin ang mga international score natin, especially when it comes to STEM at tinatawag na STEM subjects. Also, binibigyan natin ng pagkakataon yung mga after 10th grade na mamili kung sila ay mag-vocational, mag-technical training o itutuloy nila. So that's more or less the big system changes that we're doing.
For her part, Vice President and Education Secretary Sara Duterte said the Matatag curriculum is the legacy of the Marcos administration in the country's basic education, which will address the problems cited by international and local education experts in the new K-10 program. According to the education chief, among those that will be addressed are the numerous learning competencies, in which from approximately 11,000 DepEd cut it down to 3,000 learning competencies.
And sa key stages, grade 1 to 3, dati 7 subjects tayo, binaba natin sa 5 subjects with a focus on math and reading. And then ang science natin papasok pag grade 4.
DepEd launched the Matatag curriculum last week with the aim of decongesting the current K-12 curriculum. Aside from cutting down the number of competencies and focus on literacy, numeracy, and socio-emotional skills for kindergarten to grade 3 learners, the new curriculum will also intensify the formation of learners' values and character development in adherence to the Good Manners and Right Conduct or GMRC and Values Education Act, as well as the articulation of 21st century skills. Asked if he supports the proposal of reverting back classes to pre-pandemic schedule, the president said he has been discussing it with DepEd officials and educators.
Pinag-uusapan nga namin. We were talking with the teaching staff here. Tinatanong ko sa kanila ano yung preference nila. Pinag-aaralan natin, the DepEd is in the process. Sila sa kasalukuyan ay meron silang ginagawang study kung ano ba talagang pinakamaganda. Siguro ay malaking tanong yan eh. Hindi ganoon kasimple yan kasi nung pinantan natin yung schedule dahil may pandemic, tapos ngayon naman climate change ang kailangan natin pag-usapan. Dahil sa schedule ngayon napakainit at pati yung mga bata hinihimatay na. Kaya kailangan natin isama sa ating pag-aaral yan kung ano yung mga dapat gawin.
The president, though, clarified that the administration has no preference and is only looking at what is the best for the Filipino learners to make them comfortable while they are in school.
Titingnan lang talaga natin kung ano yung pinakamaganda, both for the kids, especially for the children, at saka sa mga teacher, at saka sa mga administrative non-teaching staff. Dahil kailangan papapasukin natin sila, mainit na masyado, baka hindi na kayang gawin ang trabaho nila, magkasakit pa.
Dateline Malacañang.
Committed to fulfilling his campaign promise of a salary increase for teachers, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has already ordered the Department of Education or DepEd to conduct a study regarding a long-term approach on how to increase teachers' salaries on top of the wage hike they receive under the salary standardization law. When asked when public school teachers will reap the campaign promise of President Marcos to receive increases in their wages, Vice President Duterte said,
Meron tayong increases sa salary standardization law. In tranches yun every year.
The Vice President also emphasized that President Marcos has already ordered them to conduct a study for a long-term outlook on how to provide salary increases for teachers aside from what they annually receive under the salary standardization law. Vice President Duterte added that the study covers salary increases for both teaching and non-teaching DepEd personnel.
So we're waiting for the result of that study na nandoon yung increases and then nandoon din yung pagkumpara niya sa inflation at sa mga economic indicators, forecast ng economic indicators sa mga darating na taon.
Dateline Malacañang.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. urged the Filipinos to always fight for the truth to avoid becoming victims of disinformation and misinformation. The president made the call during the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding or MOU between key government agencies and the launching of the Presidential Communications Office's or PCO's Media and Information Literacy or MIL project on Monday. In his speech, President Marcos emphasized that the truth has always been the casualty of misinformation and disinformation, which affects the capability of netizens to discern for themselves between factual and speculative information.
What we are fighting for is the truth. Because what is the very first casualty of all of these sometimes sinister, sometimes just mistaken, misguided activities, the first victim, the first casualty is the truth.
While he recognizes the good and bad information online, President Marcos said that the government will ensure to equip people with the knowledge to discern between truth, speculations, propaganda, and outright lies, as he emphasized that the youth are the most vulnerable sector as far as fake news is concerned. The President echoed the observation of PCO Secretary Cheloy Villacaria Garafil on the need to direct the attention to the young people as they are the most involved in social media platforms.
We also direct our attention to young people because they are the most involved. They are the ones who consider being online, working on the internet as part of their life. It's like breathing to young people. But we must give them the tools to be able to look and see what are these things that we are reading. Totoo ba ito? Should we really be doing something about it? Should I worry? Or should I just not worry because this is what people are telling me?
Recalling an incident during the campaign period about the campaign allegedly based on fake news, President Marcos emphasized the need to equip not only the children but also the entire citizenry with the tools to be able for them to tell what is important, what is not, what is relevant, and to know the sources of information. President Marcos also underscored the importance of knowing the sources.
The first step that we can do for our people to say, know your source. Tignan nyo kung saan galing. Kung ano yung kwento na yan. Baka nag-inuman lang yung mga yan. Tapos kung ano-ano naisip, sinulat sa internet. Naniwala naman tayo. Di ba? Kailangan bantayan natin yun.
Before ending his speech, the chief executive called for everyone's involvement in fighting misinformation and disinformation.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Marcos administration is relying on media literacy to combat misinformation and disinformation and called for strong public support through collaboration with various stakeholders and the private sector. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. joined the Presidential Communications Office or PCO, Department of Education or DepEd, Commission on Higher Education or CHED, Department of Social Welfare and Development or DSWD, and Department of the Interior and Local Government or DILG in officially launching the Media Information Literacy or MIL project in a ceremony in Pasay City on Monday. During the event, Communications Undersecretary Emerald Ridao said that the MIL launching will complement the existing mechanisms with a more stringent approach to combat misinformation and disinformation. The PCO official urged the attendees to recognize the power they hold in shaping this narrative in whatever field they are engaged in, such as education, policy making, and technology. Speaking on behalf of Social Welfare Secretary Rex Gatchalian, Undersecretary Edu Punay said the Department of Social Welfare and Development or DSWD also committed to take further steps in promoting the Marcos administration's MIL campaign. Having worked in the media industry for 20 years, Undersecretary Punay underscored the importance of fighting the fake news and propaganda through a whole-of-nation approach. He also recounted how the poor and the vulnerable sector fell prey to fake news as hundreds of senior citizens rushed to the DSWD offices last January for a supposed payout for social pension that was apparently not scheduled. Yusek Punay expressed the DSWD's readiness to take on the challenge and take part in the MIL campaign. He said the DSWD, and upon the directive of Secretary Gatchalian, took the initiative to ensure the awareness and literacy of its beneficiaries, including the 22 million Filipino individuals belonging to the 4-Piece program, the 4 million senior citizens under the social pension program, as well as other beneficiaries of its programs. The DSWD is making sure ensure that they rely on legitimate sources of information such as the agency's websites and official media accounts and credible news outfits and other channels such as its monthly face-to-face interaction for peace beneficiaries. Under the MOU, the PCO shall act as the lead agency for the MIL project pursuant to its mandate to serve as the primary office in the executive branch to engage and involve the public and mass media in enriching the quality of public discourse in all matters of governance, and its responsibility to craft, formulate, develop, enhance, and coordinate the messaging system of the executive branch and the office of the president. With this, the DepEd shall oversee the crafting of the nationwide surveys framework and questions or recommend participants in the focus group discussions or FGDs among MIL practitioners, take part in the development of educators and learners MIL manual, and incorporate the crafted manual through the MIL project in the country's basic educational curriculum. CHED shall perform similar function in addition to other tasks to foster coordination and collaboration of concerned parties with state universities and colleges or SUCs. The DSWD shall incorporate the MIL project in its social protection programs, provide support to the conduct of trainings related to the project in targeted communities, and assistance in disseminating MIL information materials. The DLG, on the other hand, shall coordinate with local government units or LGUs on the ground activities with regard to the MIL project and collaborate with the Sangguniang Kabataan of each LGU and with the National Youth Commission or NYC in carrying out the program.
Dateline Malacañang.
In our news, the Department of the Interior and Local Government or DILG on Monday called on the local governments of Makati and Taguig to ensure the smooth delivery of services while fixing issues arising from their territorial role. In a press briefing in Camp Crame, Interior Secretary Benjamin Abalos Jr. said the Supreme Court ruling should not hamper government services in the affected areas.
Dapat yung mga tao tuloy-tuloy ang serbisyo. Hindi dapat sila maapektuhan. Yun ang importante sa lahat. Hindi dapat, because of this Supreme Court decision, hindi dapat sila maapektuhan dito. Sa eskwelahan, sa ospital, yung serbisyo tuloy-tuloy.
Secretary Abalos said he already talked with Makati Mayor Abigail Binay and Taguig Mayor Lani Cayetano on the matter, noting that the two sides are now coming up with ways to settle these issues amicably. The DLG chief also said this should also apply to health facilities and other equipment that are located in the EMBO or enlisted men's barrio barangays that would be transferred to Taguig's jurisdiction. The DLG chief's call came after the two cities traded barbs over the control of the 14 public schools located in villages that would be transferred to Taguig's jurisdiction in compliance with the ruling of the Supreme Court. This include the Makati Science High School, Comembo Elementary School, Rizal Elementary School, Pembo Elementary School, Benigno Ninoy S. Aquino High School, Tibagan High School, Fort Bonifacio Elementary School, Fort Bonifacio High School, Pitogo Elementary School, Pitogo High School, Sembo Elementary School, East Rembo Elementary School, West Rembo Elementary School, and South Sembo Elementary School. Last week, Makati City Administrator Claro Certeza said the city plans to file criminal and administrative charges against Taguig for its forcibly attempt to take over these public schools. Taguig, however, dismissed Certeza's claims as false and misleading and cited an August 4 memorandum order from the Department of Education, National Capital Region, ordering the transfer of the supervision of these schools from the Division of Makati to the Division of Taguig Pateros. On Monday, Cayetano led the kick-off of the Brigada Eskwela along with education stakeholders in the schools across the EMBO barangays.
Dateline Malacañang.
Students in select schools in Makati will soon receive lectures on anti-smoking, anti-littering, basic first aid and disaster management following the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding or MOU on Monday between the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA and the Department of Education or DepEd Division of Makati City. The MOU was signed during the Brigada Escuela 2023 Division kickoff at Makati High School. In a statement, MMDA Acting Chair Romando Duarte said the initiative aims to implement a smoke-free and healthy environment in public schools and will be a continuing program until its expected end in June 2025. The MMDA, through its Health, Public Safety, and Environmental Protection Office, or HPSEPO, will facilitate the anti-smoking lectures and orientation to inform students on the effects of littering that may cause clogging of waterways and eventually flooding. Aside from the said lectures, the students will also undergo a course on basic first aid and disaster management for incidents of fire, flooding, and earthquake. On the other hand, DepEd Makati will serve as a partner in the campaign and is responsible for securing the health and wellness of students. To date, the schools included in the program are Makati High School, San Isidro National High School, San Antonio National High School, General Pio del Pilar National High School, Bangkal High School, Maximo Estrella Senior High School, Fort Bonifacio High School, Benigno Ninoy S. Aquino High School, Makati Science High School, Pitogo High School, Tibagan High School, and Nemesio E. Yabut Senior High School. Artes was joined in the MOU signing by Makati Vice Mayor Monique Lagdameo, officials from DepEd Makati, and representatives from private partners, China, Bank Savings, and Young Men's Christian Association.
Dateline Malacañang.
The country's daily average of new coronavirus disease 2019 or COVID-19 cases declined by 5% from August 7 to 13. In its latest case bulletin, the Department of Health or DOH recorded 132 daily infections, a decline of 8 cases from the 140 recorded between August 1 to 6. From August 7 to August 13, a total of 924 new cases were recorded. The tally of severe and critical infections also decreased to 238 from the 315 cases from August 1 to 6. About 20 deaths were verified with 14 recorded from July 31 to August 13. Only 10.5% or 184 out of the 1,750 intensive care unit or ICU beds are in use, while 14.4% or 2,214 of 15,425 non-ICU beds were utilized. At least 78,443,972 or 100.4% of the country's target population of 78,100,578 have been vaccinated against COVID-19, including 82.16% of 8,721,357 senior citizens as of March 19. A total of 23,811,248 have received booster shots out of the fully vaccinated population. To date, the country has logged 4,108,469 coronavirus cases, with 3,189 active cases, 4,038,634 recoveries, and 66,646 deaths since January 2020.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board or LTFRB on Monday said it is looking into the proposed 2 pesos minimum fare or fare increase for public utility jeepneys or PUJ proposed by several public transport groups due to the continued increase in fuel prices. In a statement, LTFRB Chair Teofilo Guaris III recognized the right of PUJ operators and drivers to propose a fare increase, saying it will be studied to determine whether the fare hike has merit. On Friday, the Liga ng Transportasyon at Operators sa Pilipinas or LTOP, Stop and Go Transport Coalition Incorporated, and Federation of Jeepney Operators and Drivers Association of the Philippines or FEDUDAP formally petitioned the LTFRB for the price hike in PUJs. Di pagkakaisa ng mga samahan ng Juper at Operators Nationwide or Piston, another group that signed the petition clarified it does not seek a fare hike and is instead looking to have the government control gas prices by suspending the excise tax tax and value-added tax on petroleum products, as well as scrapping the oil deregulation law. Another big-time oil price increase took effect on Tuesday, of which gasoline prices increased by 1 peso and 90 centavos per liter and diesel by 1 peso and 50 centavos per liter, the fifth consecutive week of price hikes. Data from the Department of Energy or DOE as of August 8 showed that gasoline prices in Metro Manila range from 57 pesos and 9 centavos to 79 pesos and 71 centavos per liter, diesel prices from 57 pesos and 60 centavos to 80 pesos and 60 centavos per liter, while kerosene prices range from 73 pesos and 45 centavos to 86 pesos and 10 centavos per liter.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office or PCSO has vowed to continue improving its processes to lessen the lead time for those seeking various types of medical assistance from the agency. In a statement on Monday, PCSO Chairperson Junie Kua assured that they continue to study what is needed to be done further and what redundant steps can be removed to further expedite the releasing of guarantee letters. He acknowledged that there is an urgency to the needs of Filipinos, assuring that their agency is committed to making the process more efficient and in line with President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s call to improve the public's access to health care. Kua pointed out that what used to take up to a week's wait has now been cut down to as early as within the day of request in the National Capital Region, where the application process has now been shifted online through the PCSO website. As for PCSO branches throughout the country, he said guarantee letters or GLs for medical assistance for confinement or hospitalization are also released within the day. For other requests, however, such as assistance for diagnostic procedures, specialty medicines, cancer treatment, hemodialysis, dialysis injection, implant devices, and patients are sometimes advised to return after 2 days to claim their GLs. Kua said plans are ongoing to digitize processes even at PCSO branches.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Commission on Climate Change or CCC on Monday warned the public to prepare for increasing heat waves in the coming months that could cause drought and water shortages despite rains due to southwest monsoon and localized thunderstorms. In a statement, CCC Commissioner Albert de la Cruz Sr. said dry spells would come despite heavy rains drenching parts of the country. Citing data from the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration or PAGASA, de la Cruz said the State Weather Bureau has declared the occurrence of El Nino in the tropical Pacific after the Oceanic Nino Index recorded 0.5 degrees centigrade in April, May, and June. Moreover, Apayao, Cagayan, and Kalinga are already experiencing drought based on the 60% reduction in the expected rainfall in these areas. Dry conditions were also experienced in Isabela and Tarlac. De la Cruz also cautioned the public over prolonged rainfall and eventual flash floods that could disrupt daily routines and affect the prices of prime commodities. During an El Nino episode, he said warmer ocean temperatures lead to changes in atmospheric circulation patterns that enhance the development of low-pressure systems and the formation of atmospheric moisture, resulting in more precipitation.
Dateline Malacañang.
The first amphibious exercise between the Armed Forces of the Philippines or AFP and the Australian Defence Force or ADF formally opened on Monday in the city of Darwin. In a statement, AFP Public Affairs Office Chief Lieutenant Colonel Enrico Gil Ileto said the maneuvers formally kicked off at the flight deck of the Royal Australian Navy or RAN landing helicopter dock HMAS Canberra, with Indo-Pacific Endeavour or IPE 2023 Commander Air Commodore Tony McCormack present during the proceedings. The drills would run until August 31. He said the maneuvers, also known as Exercise Alon 2023, are part of the IPE activities for this year's and the first bilateral amphibious exercise between Australia and the Philippines. Alon means waves in Tagalog. Ileto said the term waves signifies the characteristics of amphibious warfare and emphasizes the projection of ground and air power onto a hostile or potentially hostile shore. He said the IPE-23 is Australia's flagship international engagement activity in the Southeast Asian and Indian Ocean region. IPA aims to promote security, stability, and stronger partnership through bilateral and multilateral engagement training, capacity building, and humanitarian efforts. The opening ceremony started with the acknowledgement of participating militaries, including the 111 contingent from the AFP who were aboard the ship, commanders of participating RAN and ADF units, and representatives from the United States Marine Corps. According to Iledo, the departure of exercise Alon 2023 participants on board HMAS Canberra from Australia to the Philippines after the opening ceremony depicts the start of a bilateral and joint-led amphibious field training exercise of the ADF with the AFP. This will be held at various training locations in the Northern Luzon Command and Western Command with ground, aviation, and surface assets from ADF, Philippine Navy, Philippine Marine Corps, Philippine Fleet, Philippine Air Force, and Philippine Army supported by USMC. Overall, multiple ships and aircraft and more than 2,000 personnel will be involved in the exercise, which includes approximately 700 personnel from the AFP, 1,200 from the ADF, and another 150 from the USMC. The USMC will be a participant but as support. Iledo said the main objective of this exercise is to enhance interoperability and be able to share tactics, techniques, and procedures and best practices in the conduct of amphibious operations in the accomplishment of the PMC and AFP mission. The bilateral exercise will help enhance regional security through cooperation and partnership. It will further enhance interoperability and readiness to respond to shared security challenges. It is also expected to be an avenue for a shared commitment to a peaceful, prosperous, and resilient Indo-Pacific region.
Dateline Malacañang.
And that concludes today's edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Win Peñano. Good day.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.